We are ready for our second lesson, and today we are going to be doing a landscape of camper. So we are going camping. The camper we're going to draw is going to be a vintage camper, and so we've got lots and lots of fun things to do with our drawing today. Go ahead and get your markers, your watercolors. You need your eraser and your pencil. If you have a ruler, grab a ruler. If you, let's see what else, rinse water, paint brushes, grab your watercolor paints. If I repeat anything, I am so sorry. But basically, you're just getting all your supplies except for the canvas, which, by the way, we will do next week. Grab the water, paper towels for drying your brushes. As soon as you are ready, we'll get started with the lesson. Okay, are you ready to go? I have my paper propped up here. Notice how I have it sideways. That's so we can make our camper just a little bit bigger and add some trees and things that you might see when you're camping. Start with your ruler. You are going to put it down towards the bottom of your page, and you are going to draw very, very lightly a horizon line. A horizon line is the line that you have between the sky and the ground. It's not always a straight line. Sometimes it's mountains or hills. It could be water, like an ocean or something like that. So once you have your line, we're gonna get started on, I cut myself off on accident. Now that you have your line, we're gonna get started with the camper. But first, I wanna show you a whole bunch of pictures of some really cool campers so you can see that they have an interesting side, okay? All right, here's the first cute camper. So when we get to the end of ours, you are gonna be able to make yours however you want to make it. So look at how cute those flowers and the hearts are, the rainbow in the back. But you can see up here, this is like a trailer hitch. Campers hook onto the back of cars or trucks sometimes, and the kind we're doing absolutely do. There's a little wheel that goes underneath there and then a much bigger tire in the back. You'll also see that there are windows. Now this one, we're not seeing the door, but we're gonna draw where there is a door. So look at that. Ooh, this one's really cute. You can see a couple windows, but still not the side with the door. Okay, there we have one. It's much, much bigger, and that is so funny. It's a watermelon. So when the door opens, it's like the inside of a watermelon. Every single one, the tires in the back are much larger. You've got windows because basically you are living inside the trailer as you are camping or whatever it is you're doing. All right, oh, there's another cute one. That one has a beach scene on it. I like this one. It's super tiny, but it's really, really cute. I like the colors. That one's cute. Let's see what else we got. That one looks like it has a nature scene, but again, on that one, see where that door is? We're gonna make sure we get a really nice door in ours. There's a couple, I'm gonna skip on through. Oh, that one's really pretty. Nice nature one outside. That one's pretty too. And then look, see how they have those flags? That's important because I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about those flags because I'm gonna put some on mine. There's a name for them. I can't remember off the top of my head what it is. Here's another one. That one's super cute. See how they painted that door? Anyway, oh, and look, there's a great big sunflower. We're gonna start drawing. We're gonna start drawing the actual camper, and you're just gonna go through it with me step by step. Then we're gonna trace it, and then we're gonna decorate it. Once we've decorated it, then we're gonna add the nature in around it, all right? Now I have to shut this off again because I have to flip you around, so hang on. All right, you can see my blank page here, and I'm gonna start about right here, and I'm gonna sketch a line that is a little bit angled until I get to the top. I'm gonna come to the other side. This is gonna be the front of my camper. I'm gonna make the front of my camper a little bit round. I actually saw some that looked like that. I'm gonna come down this way. I forgot to say, as we're drawing, I'm gonna close off the bottom here. You guys can ask the grown-up in charge of the computer if you can go and look up different camper ideas, so that could be fun. All right, so I've got all that. I'm gonna come around, I'm gonna finish off the top of it. And so now I have a nice shape. I do need to clean up my little lines so I can take my eraser. If I drew light, then with that eraser, I don't have to worry so much about not being able to erase it for the lines being too long. Okay, I pointed out on a couple of the trailers that they have what's called a trailer hitch. That trailer hitch would hook onto a car or a truck so you could pull it when you're driving, but when you park it and you're camping, you can take it off of there. That trailer hitch often has a tiny tire attached to it or a little wheel. So we're gonna put a wheel there. Then we're gonna put a much larger wheel on the back. Okay, so go ahead and do your 2 tires. Erase any extra lines as you go. All right, and I'm gonna come back over here. There we go. So I have my camper. The first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna divide the top from the bottom, okay? A lot of campers, would be a great opportunity to use your ruler, which Miss Melanie is not doing because I only have one hand, the other hand is using the camera. So once I have that, I've got my line that divides the top from the bottom. I'm gonna put a door in. Just gonna do a normal little rectangle door for now. See that? So go ahead and put your door on. While you are doing that, I am going to find a picture so I can show you something. All right, I think I found it. Okay, I want you to look at this camper. See how the top is divided from the bottom? It's so that, I think that's the way they put together the campers in the factory. We're gonna come back to this in a little bit and I'll talk to you about that, but this is kind of a cute example of how you can make the end. See how that end there kind of goes and bends out and then that one bends back in? Campers come in all kinds of different shapes. So that's something that makes it fun to do. All right, now back to my paper. I have everything on here so far. For the basics, I'm erasing that line and I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna draw a window. Campers are for the outdoors, but it's like a little home inside. That's kind of fun. If you've never been in a camper, maybe do something where you look up a little tour of a camper. All right, so this is my bigger window going right here. I'm gonna put just a little small one right here, just to let some light in. I've seen some cute ones too that might even have like a sunroof like you have in a car sometimes. So, all right, next thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna put a window in my door. And then I showed you the watermelon one. The watermelon one, it opened up and then there was a screen door behind it. And then if you open this door on your camper, usually if it's not low enough, they'll have little steps that you can flip out. If you've ever been in a boat out on Beaver Lake and you flip your stairs out of the boat, you can do that on your camper too. Okay, I have my basic design for my camper. I'm gonna shut the camera off for just a minute and we're gonna outline. Once I've outlined, I'm gonna erase all of my lines. So go ahead and finish up this part of the drawing and get ready to outline. Do your outlining before we go on to the next step. All right, there is my little camper all outlined, and so now you should be able to see it really well. I did a couple things. I put a doorknob on here. My horizon line is still there. I'm gonna leave it untraced for now because we're gonna turn that into grass and we're gonna add some trees to it. So the next thing you want to do is you wanna think about how you wanna decorate it. So there was one that was really cute, for example, with the great big gigantic flowers. There was another, and well, that one also had like a rainbow and stuff like that. There are tons and tons of cute campers out there. You could make it leopard print. You could make it an art one. I saw a super duper duper cute one that had, it was a hamburger. I'm gonna see, I'm kind of clicking through here. Look, there's a couple more. That one's like a cowgirl one. Oh, that one's really cute. I like the green and the yellow. Let's see, I think we've seen that before. Sometimes when you're clicking through these, you're not always finding what it is you want. So again, if you want to go and look one up, I like that. That one's very simple, but it's kind of cute. It's very vintagey. Anyway, if you want to go look one up, go ahead and go look one up. Okay, so thinking about two things. For one thing, people sometimes, you know, they go on vacation, they're traveling, they're driving around, and then they sleep in this at night. Sometimes there's a little kitchen or a little couch or something like that. So we might have some cute little curtains in our window. That kind of curtain just hangs above and it leaves the rest of the window open. Maybe over here, I have a different kind of curtain, the kind that pull back. So decide what kind of curtains you want. And then if you want to put polka dots or stripes or any other pattern on your curtains, you can do that. You can also have a curtain for this little door right here, or I saw one that had like a wreath on it, which was really cute. You can do some things inside the window. So for example, I could have a little flower pot. I could have a cat sitting in the window. I could put a dog sitting in the window. So what we're going to focus on for the next step is getting our camper decorated. This is where if you haven't looked at any campers on your own, you might want to ask a grown-up to let you look at some campers. You can even look at some artwork because sometimes there are fancy paintings of just campers that are cute and out there. I'm going to see camper art. Let's see what happens. And I'm not on Pinterest. I am just on the internet. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Okay, so let me get to where I can blow one up. See how cute that is? And really ours is a work of art. So I love the way they did the crooked line right here, or not like the curves. Look, they have little curtains. These are called awnings where they come out and they kind of hide the shade. I am going to add, I believe this is called a bunting. Remember, I told you I couldn't remember it before. I'm gonna add a bunting to mine and I'll show you that in just a minute. Let's see, oh, that one's cute, a cute striped one. You could use your ruler for that. That one's fancy. Anyway, so if you do have the ability, which I guess you're on the computer with me, so you do have the ability, just make sure you ask if it's okay to do an internet search. Oh, look, that one's so cute, and it has a doggy inside. Okay, so bunting, that's what I'm gonna add. That's my next step. I'm gonna come across, and I gotta tell you guys, I should not be using my Sharpie. I really need to go back to using a pencil because I will mess up. So I'm just gonna add the little flags that are the bunting to add a little bit of color to mine, make mine fancy. So, and then from there, I'm gonna look through some pictures and I'm gonna get some inspiration on how I want to paint it. So, not paint it, how I want to decorate it. We will work on that for just a bit, and then we will be back and ready to add our trees. All right, I have mine all drawn in. See, I put a little cat in the window. I did stripes on my bunting, different kinds of flowers and polka dots, and a little heart on my window. So the next thing I wanna do, we are in the great outdoors, and so I'm gonna draw a tree. And I'm gonna make my tree start over here to the left. No, that's the right. Ha! I'm gonna start and sketch the trunk. Trunks of trees are skinnier at the top and fatter or wider at the bottom. So this here is narrower than this. Once I have that, a tree is basically reaching for the sky. It's like holding your arms up. So you give the tree some arms, but they're called branches. Then make them thick, like so. And then just to keep it simple, because it's not the main attraction, I'm just adding some details for the outdoors. I'm just gonna make a cute little fluffy tree, like so. That goes all the way around. And then like right here where those branches end, I'm gonna add a couple of like leafy kind of things. So that's gonna be my first tree. I can do a second tree over here, but I'm actually gonna do a sunshine up here in the corner. So I'm gonna go like that, and I'm gonna make my sun rays like so. I could even put a cute little smile on it if I wanted to. So that's what I have so far. Now I'm gonna come, this is my grass line. Mine is parked in the grass because we're camping. So I'm taking, instead of going over that fat line, I'm gonna make some grass marks. And so my grass, is just gonna come and be like so. Now, if I want to, I can do like a small tree or a bush or something down here. I could do a campfire. We are camping, and so if I wanted to, I could do a little campfire. I can do really anything I want to add the details to my camper. One of the things that I could do is I could make some like little flowers. See that growing in the grass? I could make like a whole border of flowers if I wanted to and do them all along here. I could do another animal. I have my cat right there, but I could have like a dog sitting in the yard if I wanted to. So if I wanted a fire, let's just say I did. Fire, I want to make the flames. If you're camping, clearly you want to roast marshmallows. And I will say as I'm drawing this, fire is really hard to draw. Once I have that, I'm going to put some logs under it. Anyway, campfire, great for when you're camping to tell like silly stories or even scary stories around the campfire. But you can also roast marshmallows and hot dogs and things like that. So I have a fire, it's right in the middle of the grass, which is not okay. And so next thing I would wanna do is I'm gonna make like a circle of like rocks around it. And the rocks, if you've ever been like a Girl Scout or gone camping or had anything like that, the rocks are gonna keep the fire from spreading. And of course, you always want to leave your fire, don't want to leave your fire unattended. You wanna make sure somebody's there, all right? So I have a fire, I have a flower. These are just different ideas. You can do one tree, you can do more trees if you want to. I'm only gonna do the tree here. I don't think I'll do another one, but I am gonna go ahead and trace the rest of my picture, and then I'm ready to paint. So go ahead and add your details and then we'll get ready to paint. All right, I am ready to paint. You can see that I traced in my grass, I made my fire, and if you will look, those funny looking things around the fire, those are big old logs so people have a place to sit. And then over here I have my tree and I drew some fancy bark on it. So I am going to use my markers to do all of the details, but I am mixing up some blue paint over here with lots and lots of water to do my sky. So I'm gonna do my sky and my, probably my sky and my grass because those are the biggest parts in my landscape. I'm gonna do those with paint and it's gonna go on there pretty fast, okay? So you're gonna paint all of this in, get all around your spots, and do that first and give it time to dry. Now our markers are watercolor markers, which means that if we get them wet, it will not hurt them. Now if you get your Sharpie wet, it's not gonna work anymore. So make sure you don't get your Sharpies in anything wet, and I don't think I've ever told you guys that before. So I'm gonna paint in all of the sky. You don't need to watch me paint. I will be back in just a minute. You guys paint your sky and then paint your grass. Okay, here is everything I painted. So in order to make my tree top different from the grass, I actually did the tree top, the leaves and things from the regular green in my tray, in my watercolor tray, but I mixed yellow and green to make like a limey green for my grass. So then when I went ahead and did my sun with orange and yellow. So my next step is gonna be to get out my watercolor markers, and you also, if you have other kind of markers and you wanna use them because you don't have the color you want, you can use any kind of marker on here. But just remember, and I'm gonna turn this around, I have no idea how that works when you're watching it, so hopefully I'm not making you dizzy. I do want you to remember, let me grab the marker. When you're doing something, I use my mouth and I shouldn't have. So let's say that I decide that I want to color this pink and I fill it all going like this. I can, just scribbling a little bit so you guys can see, I can wet my brush and I can turn it into paint. The thing you have to be careful of though is if you do turn it into paint, you have to make sure that you do not accidentally let your paints run into one another. So that's why I think with the little small stuff, I'm gonna have to let that dry a little bit and come back to it. But with this much smaller stuff, that's why I think I want to do watercolor markers versus, or even just markers or crayons if you want to go and get the crayons. See that? That way I've got that smaller tip. It makes it much easier for me to get in here like so. And then, oops, I got green on my door. Okay, so that's how you're going to do it. Finish up your artwork and then remember to send me a picture when you're done. I would love to see it.